Hello and welcome back to another video. The purpose of today's video is to outline my proposed training plan that I want to use to help achieve a new PB on the SA Calobra climb. Now this is just a starting point and I'm very happy to change and amend this plan as I learn more and get new insights. It's very much a self-coaching approach. And that's based on years of listening to podcasts and watching YouTube videos. Before I go through the outline of my training plan, I would just like to acknowledge some of the principal influencers. First of all, Dr. Indigo San Milan, who I first came across on this GCN video. And it goes through the basic principles of slow training. And this was probably the first time that I started to give consideration to this approach. Then the next person that I gained a lot of knowledge from was Dr. Stephen Seller. And he did a podcast with the Roadman podcast. This is a longer form podcast, but a lot of great information on it. And it really started to compile my knowledge. And I recommend giving it a listen sometime if you can. Then after that, I have to acknowledge Coach Chad from Trainer Road. I really learned a lot from listening to the great collection of podcasts and videos that he did in his time working with Trainer Road. After that, I gained some knowledge from this book, Training with a Power Meter. And even though this book can be quite technical, it just reinforced a lot of the information I'd already heard. And then lastly, I'd like to acknowledge Aurelian from the SA Calobra Cycling Club. And as a coach and listening to him talk, he kind of cemented a lot of these ideas together for me. Now to go through the training plan. You will notice that this training plan is mega simple and maybe too simple. I'm nearly embarrassed to put it out there because it's so straightforward. But I think I'll just go for it anyway. Now I'm going to break my week up as the following. So the first picture I'll bring up will be probably the most important part of my training week. And that is 2 days rest. Yep, going to take 2 days where I'm not going to do any physical training whatsoever. Just rest up, feet on the couch kind of days. Might go out for a small walk, but nothing strenuous, and just give myself lots of time to recover and get ready for real training. Most likely my rest days will be a Monday and a Friday, but I'll move these around as I need. Then next, I'm going to take 3 days as endurance days. And for me, an endurance day will be approximately working at 70% FTP and between 100 and 150 TSS for my training score, or stress score, should I say. Now you will notice I haven't mentioned a distance or a time here. And that is mainly because this will vary based on how fit I am and how fit I get. And measuring it by the stress on my body, I think is a more important way of measuring it than just saying I'll do so many kilometers or so much time. And I'm going to be interested to see how this approach goes, and hopefully it'll work for me. Then, for the next day, I'm going to do 1 hard day's training per week. And this is based on me training for a 40-minute plus FTP effort to hopefully get a new PB on the SA Calobra climb. That day will be principally made up of 2 20-minute efforts or 6 10-minute efforts. Now depending on how fresh I am, this will either be done at between 85 and 95% FTP. Then if I'm a bit fresher again, I'll do it at 100% FTP. And if I'm really feeling good, I will do it at 105% plus FTP. And I will decide these measurements on the day depending on what my body is telling me. Then for the 7th day, it's going to be a free day or a fun day. And generally this will be a ride with my cycling club. Now on this last day, I will try and put some effort in, depending on what type of club ride we're doing that day. So I might throw in a couple of sprints, or I might work at the front of the group in going at heart rate. So I might work at the upper end of my Garmin zone 4 heart rate. This is just so I still get some good work on my club ride, and whilst allowing myself to have fun and not be under any real structure. Because really I'm cycling for fun and enjoyment, not just to do a PB. Now I've been thinking about when to do my first FTP test. Because I'm coming out of the winter and not really fresh at the moment, I've no desire to get up and do an FTP test and come up with a bad number. I'm just going to stick with the last number I had. And as soon as I think that my training is starting to pay off and I'm feeling fresh, or when I'm going out and on my hard day, yeah, it's quite easy, I know I can do more, then I'll consider doing an FTP test just so I can have more accurate numbers for my workouts. One of my concerns about this training plan is overtraining. Now, what resources am I going to use to try and watch out for that? Obviously, the first one is how your body feels. The second one is on my Garmin Connect account, on one of the reports, which is I'm bringing up the picture now so you can see it, is the training status. Now on this, you can see down here, the bottom of the page in green, they have a graph called the acute training load. And I'm going to see if I can just keep my training in the green zone or their optimal range, and if I feel good doing this. One of the reasons for trying to use the data from my Garmin is that, well, it's free. I don't have to pay for another training service. But in saying that, for the beginning, for the first month or so, I have signed back up to Trainer Road, and I'll bring up a screenshot from them now. Now, Trainer Road have a system of yellow and red days, and you'll see here from this training period over the Christmas time for 2024, and a lot of yellow days. So this is a warning to be taking it easy. But if you go back now to the previous screen and the Garmin, you'll see that it's the same time frame, but I was still within their green zone. So I'm not exactly too sure which of these that I want to follow, but I'm hopefully going to end up going with the Garmin approach. And it'll be curiosity to see how Trainer Road updates its training plan based on what I'm doing. Now on screen now, I have brought up a screenshot of what Trainer Road were recommending I do. And it's really quite different than what I'm going to plan for myself. And that does put a little bit of doubt in my mind. You know, I'm going this self-coaching route. Maybe I should be getting a proper coach. Who knows? But I enjoy the self-coaching approach. We'll see what happens. Will this training plan work for me or not? I hope so, but who knows? But I will get back with hopefully monthly updates to see whether things are going to plan. Can I do this? Is it been an absolute disaster? Am I failing? Who knows? But I'm going to give it a shot and see how it goes. And then hopefully a new PB on the SA Calobra climb.